This is a CBS News special report. I'm Tony DeCopel in New York, and we are coming on your air at this early hour with breaking news. A catastrophic bridge collapse in Baltimore, and the Maryland governor has just declared a state of emergency. Let's go to the pictures because they are dramatic indeed. This is the Francis Scott Key Bridge, stitching together two major counties in Maryland, and that is a cargo ship colliding with a pillar. This is 1:30 a.m. local time. That cargo ship, the Dolly, hit the Francis Scott Key Bridge and sent the principal section, the main stretch of this bridge, into the water. Rescue boats are now on the scene, and we are hearing from the Baltimore Fire Department that up to 20 people may be in the water. They're calling it a, quote, developing mass casualty event. The good news at this hour is the Coast Guard says they do not have confirmed casualties at this time. A search is underway. The Francis Scott Key Bridge, as I mentioned, connects two major counties in the Baltimore area. It is more than 1.5 miles long. It's been open for nearly 50 years, one of the longer bridges in this country, and a major artery for shipping and for passengers, for vehicles. Tens of thousands a day cross this bridge. Let's take a live look at the rescue efforts. The sun has yet to come up there in Baltimore, but you can see the ship there, the shadow of it anyway, and the stricken bridge collapsed around it. That is where the bridge once stood. Behind it, you have Baltimore Harbor, the cranes that load those giant cargo ships. All but this one have been going under that bridge without incident for many decades. We have team coverage of this story. We're going to begin with Nicole Skanga. She is near the scene in Baltimore for us in Dundalk, Maryland. Nicole, good morning. What do you see? What do you know where you are?
Tony, good morning. Authorities calling this a mass casualty event, a multi-agency rescue and recovery currently underway. And as you mentioned, a state of emergency declared by Maryland Governor Wes Moore right here in this harrowing scene. The Baltimore fire chief saying as many as 20 people were plunged into the water here, into the harbor, when an outbound cargo ship, the Dolly, collided with a support beam of the Francis Scott Key Bridge, and multiple vehicles, including a tractor trailer, also dropping into the water at this time, creating just a chaotic scene for first responders and law enforcement here on the ground. You mentioned the U.S. Coast Guard deploying their maritime teams, but we also know that dive teams have been deployed, that state and local police are on the ground. We've been seeing the cars pass by. You can see some police over my right shoulder here stopping traffic. We also know FBI and ATF are on the scene, and they are working to rescue any and all survivors now cloaked by darkness and in frigid temperatures of mid-40s. Of course, hypothermia a concern here as well. We expect a briefing to occur around 7 a.m. local, 7 a.m. Eastern time. We know that the governor and the Baltimore mayor are both en route, that the transportation secretary has been briefed here on the situation on the ground. The priority, of course, saving lives, pulling people out of the waters here, but we should note this is a major thoroughfare that has now been put in a frozen state here, Tony.